joining us for another episode of Talk the Talk with me, Dish. Today I'm interviewing Sheri Kuipers, I hope I pronounced that right, the workshop manager at Mit-Mak Motors. Now Mit-Mak Motors has been getting around, becoming a household name, and I've been seeing them all over the streets, and I said, gosh, we must get them in studio somehow. So Sheri is a true vehicle enthusiast who isn't afraid to get some engine grease under her nails. She is a born leader with extraordinary drive and determination. Insisting on her right to make up her own mind, Sheri demands freedom of thought and action and does not let anything or anyone stand in her way once she is committed to her goal. Entrepreneurial and progressive, Sheri is ever striving and heading for the top. This is due to her unyielding dedication to her plan until the goals are achieved. Let's welcome Sheri Kuipers, proudly brought to you by Serenity Solutions. Hi Sheri.
Hi Dash, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here.
Like I said, everywhere I've been seeing Mit-Mak on billboards and all of that, and now I have a Mit-Mak person with the shirt right here in studio. I'm so excited.
It's good to be here. It's good to represent a brand that's in every household.
Yeah, you are so committed. You're so passionate about this name, Mit-Mak,
I really
and
am.
the dealer principal and the owner. And in just literally a few minutes, I think I've learned so much about Mit-Mak Motors. So thank you for that. Let's talk about you though. Let's talk about your journey in motoring South Africa.
Well, it all started as a youngster. I've always been very enthusiastic about bikes and cars and safe speed.
Okay.
And I was telling one of the crew members a bit earlier, my husband of 17 years, back then when we started dating, was working on a vehicle. He's a motor mechanic.
Okay.
And there was a part lying around and I'd asked him, what is this? And there was a lot of ridicule. But you're not supposed to know this. You're a woman. Go back to the kitchen. And I made it my mission to start getting as much knowledge as I could about the motor mechanics and all lubricated items in an engine and in the gearbox. And that determination of, but I'll show you, I can do this, and I can do it better, and I look good doing it.
Aww.
So from there, I started off as a cadet with Nissan South Africa, sold a few cars, and then strived more to workshop side because of my curiosity and fascination towards how this machine that I enjoy driving so much, how it works and functions. And moved over to workshop, became a service advisor, and then Bobby Petkoff gave me the opportunity. He saw something in me and said, you know what, I need you as my manager. And since then, he has truly been helping me to achieve all my goals. And it's been a great journey so far.
Yes, and how many years have you been with Mit-Mak?
I've been with Mit-Mak for 6 months, but I've been in the motor industry for 13 years.
Wow, okay. So being in workshop, you need to have that inner strength, the stamina, and the courage to take on those people that comes in and say, listen, I want to talk to a man, right?
100%.
What motivates you? What drives you daily to just want to achieve it, to prove yourself?
I think first and foremost, my kids.
Okay.
I'm a mom of 2 daughters, and my eldest wants to become a mechanical engineer or an aeronautical engineer. So within
How
that,
old is she?
She's 15. She's 15. So moving into that direction, I kind of have to be this role model for her and support her. And then also just the pure joy of what I do. I wake up in the morning wanting to do this. I love my job thoroughly. So I think what motivates me most is knowing that I've got this challenge ahead. And as a female, there is a stigma in workshop of, a pretty face or receptionist. Service advisor isn't required to give you the mechanical breakdown. Whereas they call you and this is my workshop manager, that all they have, seeing that you are a female, that alone in a way is motivation enough because I have to prove to you that I'm worth the title.
Yes.
So the determination and motivation there, I think from the stigma kind of drives me even further and to open doors for people out there wanting to move into that direction in their career because it's not a job. The motor trade's a career. You're born for it. So that is my aim here and that drives me.
I love that. And something you said now resonated, and that is we were seen to be those sitting behind the desk as a receptionist in an admin role, even as an FNI. Those are popular positions within the motor trade. However, here I am, I'm a journalist in the motoring trade. I am one of the first female motoring journalists.
Yes.
And you talked about being able to talk the talk, and that's exactly what my logo is. Women Talk is. It's always been women talk the talk. In fact, the show was derived from that,
yes.
From Women Talk. And that's what advice would you like to give to women, particularly in the workshop or service departments of the motoring trade, those that want to enter into those specific departments?
Own up to your dreams, own it, stick it through. There is a stigma, there is a ridicule on the fundamental understanding of mechanics in the motor industry. Whether or not it be, motor industry or aeronautical industry, mechanics in general, there is a stigma behind it. So own up to your dreams.
Yes.
Don't let the fear of not fitting in prevent you from going up in the world. And stick to it. Do your history, do your research and your homework, know your product, know what it is you want to do, and give yourself a timeline. Put a deadline on it for yourself, and if you don't meet it and you need to put it out for a day or two, then get your facts in order. But do it. Don't let the fear of anything stand in your way. So own up. Own it. It's yours.
Definitely. And the most important thing which you said now is knowledge is power. Educate yourself. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have, the more you can defend yourself, the more you can take a stand. So yes, absolutely. I agree with you, especially in the workshop area or the service department or parts managers. Women are now coming to the forefront. They're taking their spaces in these departments, and it is so refreshing, I must say. When I started 11 years ago in the industry, there wasn't any of that. We had to search far and wide, and there's so so few and far between they were. Now they're coming to the forefront, so I'm so happy. I'm always happy and so excited to have someone like you in studio with me. So thank you for that. And as you know, we are a women empowerment platform. However, I must say that men have now come to the forefront, and I'm interviewing guys in the motoring industry. But how do you feel about this particular initiative that we've taken?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that women empowerment has become a thing of the present and future. And not only for us, and growing up of a woman's place is in the kitchen, but knowing that our kids are going to be raised in this dynamic area of be moving forward. And
it can only get better.
100%.
Yes.
100%. And it's nice knowing that women like you are there motivating kids and motivating youngsters, whether or not they're in college, university or high school, that can go out and fulfill their dreams. So I'm very proud to have met someone like you that can get this initiative going.
Thank you. But I sit here being proud of people like you. I just came from another interview now, and it's you that makes this happen. It's you that take the time out of your working hours to sit here with me and help me. I can't sit here talking to myself. I actually do that. I talk to myself quite often, but I can't sit here talking on behalf of all these departments. I can only talk from a journalist point of view, telling other people's stories, but having you here relate these stories directly from where you come from, the workshop areas. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
You know, at the moment, people are going through so much in terms of COVID side effects, after effects, illnesses. It's really destroyed some families in terms of retrenchment. How can you advise? You're a strong woman. How can you advise women to, to just try and be stronger and more motivated and inspired to rise above all of this?
I'd say, I think, first and foremost, COVID is real. A lot of us think, don't wear your mask, don't take this too seriously. If I get a cold, it's okay. It is real. Stay safe. And in doing so, keep your mental state of health safe. Don't allow yourself to go into a depressive state or into that negative mindset, because if you're going to be there, the one key phrase you need to remember, I can only go up from here. So if you're so down that you are negative, you can only go up from there. And motivate yourself. Put your thoughts on a dream and go for it, reach for it, move forward, and rely on friends and family. I think in a big way, we as women don't always share. We don't rely on a support system. And there's nothing wrong with asking for support, whether it be in a financial aspect or an emotional one. But random acts of human kindness are out there. So let's rely on each other and keep strong and safe.
And you said, women are not always coming to the forefront, supporting each other. How can you change the mindset of that? I mean, there are thousands of women that are going to be watching this. Anything that you'd like to say to them?
The more you give, the more you'll get. I think if we can change that mindset of, you're in this alone, it really will help. And it starts with us. If you start giving, and it might just be a shoulder, it might just be an ear. And women tend to think a listening ear is a wandering mouth. So we don't necessarily speak or listen when someone speaks to us. So by random acts of kindness, the more you give, the more you'll get. So let's take that mindset and let's be positive and help each other and support each other. And in a big way, a lot of men support women and they don't know it. And I'm not talking in your marriage or your household environment, within an employment situation or in a group of friends. We really need to start relying on each other more and ask for support.
Yes, definitely. What is one of your favorite quotes that you live by? Or
so this one I got from a friend. I think I was in high school, and he went through this depressive phase, this hardcore. And he had this note that he'd given me that says, blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. And to me, that's so deep on so many levels, because there's this raw truth behind it and this transparency in those words. And I am going to say this, but if you take Bobby Petco, for instance, the DP of Mit-Mak Motors, every single thing that comes across his table, he will leave everything immediately and address that with loyalty and commitments and dedication. And I've learned a lot from him through that. And that's where it kind of stuck out for me. Blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. Because I'm proud to say that I'm a part of that family. And I see that quote in that man every single day.
Well, I'm very excited to have Bobby Petco here in studio with me. I've heard so much about him, so I'm really excited about that. Sheri, what legacy would you like to leave behind? Let's hope it's not anytime soon. But what would you like to leave? Right now, just not in the motoring trade, but everywhere. We have a lady that is very instrumental in the motoring trade, has been a very close friend of mine. Her name is Masha Mayaba. She always says, Desh, I don't care what we do as long as we leave it better than we found it. What is it that you would like to leave behind?
That I've worked very hard for what I've achieved in my life. Nothing was handed to me. I didn't have funds to go study after school. I actually wanted to be a marine biologist. And then in that, I found a sense of belonging in the motor trade, a sense of home. So the legacy I would like to leave behind is that anything set out for a man, a woman can do just as good, with the same amount of dedication, determination, and also quality of what we leave behind. And for me, it's very important that my legacy should remain as that, determined, courageous, and hardworking in any field of life.
Sorry, I had to take a minute there. I think you would definitely leave that. Definitely. You've obviously 13 years in this industry must have taught you quite a bit of lessons. There must have been so many. We learn lessons every single day, but what lessons have you learned that you'd like to impart to our viewers?
If you want to know anything in the motor trade, high or low, speak to the cleaners. They are the fly against the wall. They can give you all the information you want. Anything. One thing that I've learned in the motor trade, and if there are other DPs or departments or dealerships watching this, I would very much like and this is something that I'm very passionate about, is to get all departments involved, whether it be a team build or a motivational thing. And the one department I feel kind of always gets left out is the wash bay, purely because they get overseen. So they like the little stone that gets kicked around. They fall within the sales department, a logistics department, or a workshop department. So they're kind of floating on their own. And I've seen this in a lot of dealerships that I've been in as well. So I always try and include them in our team. But these are guys that they're always there. And the one thing you either get a compliment or a complaint about. My vehicle was clean and I didn't ask for it. What an amazing dealership. Or my vehicle was dirty when I received it back. I don't like this dealership. So I don't think they get the recognition that they require. But also another thing that I've learned in the motor trade is you are born for it. It's not an easy industry to be in. And as a woman, I think in a big way it's more challenging than it would be for a man, because you're either born into it or you choose that path because of passion. And the moment you've got that passion, then you're going to need support. And respect is given. Yes. People, I think, also are very misled with being a workshop mechanic myself, that I get ridiculed all the time. There's a lot of respect that comes with the title, and I'm very proud of my title. Just set your dreams out and go for it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And yes, I admire you so much for what you're doing. And I think the dynamic is going to change. I think in a couple of years from now, it's not going to be few and far between. It's not going to be, oh wow, she's a mechanic. No, it's going to change. We are going to definitely be some type of a contribution to that change. So well done. Thank you. Well done. Is there anything you'd like to add to this conversation?
No, thank you for taking the time, inviting me as an individual and a representative of a brand to come and chat here with you today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And that's the end of another spectacular episode of Talk the Talk. Look, I say spectacular because having people like Sheri, a woman like Sheri, sharing this stage with me or this place with me means so much to me. It really does. Viewers, thank you for watching, supporting and following us once again. Also, please remember to follow us on our social media platforms, and don't forget we have thousands of vehicles on sale to choose from countrywide on our vehicle listing page at www.womentalk.co.za. And remember, viewers, we only advertise for bank accredited dealerships. Ladies, some of us are born with more ability to endure than others. Others have more stamina, like Sheri here, because they have been using their endurance muscles. Endurance is like anything else. The more you exercise and practice, the better you are at it. You know now with emerging science that there are practices that help us learn how to become stronger in the area of endurance. Endurance is discipline. Okay, when applied to every situation, endurance is the foundation of confidence and the scaffolding for creativity. Here at Talk the Talk, powered by Sariti Solutions and MVOT powered by MFC, a division of Nedbank, we would like to build your endurance by motivating you and reminding you each and every time that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.